Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Patrick. I am an author, writer, reviewer, voice actor, and public speaking coach. Today I'll be reviewing The Blackening of Flesh, written by Kristen A. Larsen and published by Mortem Press, copyright 2016. If you like this video and like to see more, please like and subscribe below. You can also check out my Instagram and other social media linked in the description box as well. I am published on Amazon under Patrick J. Murphy III, and I would love to hear your thoughts on my own stories. So, overall, I felt like it was a pretty good book. You had a really good twist at the end that made up for a lot of the things that happened in the book. You got a great ghost story tied to the mafia, and so that was an interesting genre to see because you don't get to see that much. I really felt that the author gave a good understanding of plot and development and character, especially because they allowed the characters to grow in ways that aren't necessarily expected. So you get to see a different side of these characters and how they got to those points of their growth. I will say that I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. And the biggest issue for me was that one of the main characters made it a point to continuously mention the body part of another character. I'm speaking of Jared, who is an 18-year-old boy, and he continuously makes comments about the main female protagonist's nipples. For me, it felt disingenuous. And trust me, I remember being an 18-year-old boy. I remember thinking about sex all the time. But it just made it feel like he wasn't focused on anything else but her nipples. So I felt as an 18-year-old boy, you would probably focus more on the breast as a whole. But I digress. So Jared is a neurodivergent, socially awkward teenager who, through no fault of his own, awakens ghosts from his home. The ghosts are a set of mafiosos that were whacked by Capone's gang in the 30s. And you really get a good understanding of the psychological and physiological effects of such a haunting happening. So that really is an interesting look at how someone who was neurodivergent would respond in those situations. I also felt that the way that the story was presented with some flashbacks and some telling of how his innermost thoughts are happening gave the development for Jared to be well deserved. And then, as I said, the twist ending in the last couple chapters really came out of left field. And so I definitely liked that you got that different understanding. You got that different ability to see a character grow in that way. The other thing that made me give it a 3 stars was that the editing and formatting might have been a little bit off. And what I mean by that is some of the dialogue sequences seem to run together. There were some issues with margins on the page and spacing issues. So I think, and it might be because it's a first edition, I can, look past some of those things. But at the same time, it did kind of take me out of the reading. So I would recommend, if there's ever going to be a second edition, maybe take the red pen of editing and go back through and do another edit. Outside of the issues that I've mentioned, I did find, like I said, I did find the book to be well written. It did have a expansive and inclusive vocabulary that you might not get with other authors. So it was nice to see a lot of the inner turmoil that Jared is put through his own neurodivergent brain, and what that looked like I said, as he was dealing with this haunting. So I definitely would recommend it to anyone that likes ghost stories or anyone that likes mafia stories, because, like I said, you having the two of those mixed together really was a interesting mix that gave a new life to those both types of stories. I would also say that anyone that wants to read something about the psychological and physiological effects of hauntings would also enjoy this book. So that's all for now. I hope you pick up The Blackening of Flesh by Charles A. Larsen, and you keep reading. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good day.